There's Skipx, another video for you guys here today, and what we're going to be getting into is JRPGs going into 2017, and I felt like there was no better time to discuss this since we're leaving 2016 in only about 3 weeks. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into this video. So in 2017, games that we pretty much have scheduled or either confirmed to come out in 2017 are Gravity Rush 2, Dragon Quest XI, Valkyria Azure Revolution, Shenmue III, which is scheduled for December 2017, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, Tales of Berseria, Nioh, Ni no Kuni 2, Persona 5, and Nier Automata. Those are all games either scheduled or rumored to come out within 2017. So with that being said, all of those games lined up side by side is pretty much okay. Those are a lot of great RPGs. We have games like Gravity Rush 2, which the series originally started on the PS Vita, and the game sold so well they decided to remaster for the PS4. Of course, we have Dragon Quest. If you're a JRPG fan, you know what it is. Probably played 1 or 2 games maybe, and if you haven't, something's wrong with you. And here we have Valkyria Azure Revolution, which is a part of Valkyria Chronicles. It's a tactical RPG, so basically if you like those types of games, I suggest you give it a try. I feel like it's highly underrated. There are plenty of games on the PS3. Shenmue III, which is a game I personally do not know much about the series, but apparently a lot of people loved this game back in the day, and the story just, well, never continued until now. Me personally, I would love to get into the series. Hopefully there's some HD remaster of Shenmue 1 and 2 so I can get into it and see why people love this game so much, but that is currently set for it to be released in December 2017. So hopefully by the time that game comes out, they've released the HD collection of this game so we can get first 2 games on PS4 for these younger gamers like myself who want to get into the series but never really had a chance to, mainly because it was out when we were extremely young. Next, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which includes Dream Drop Distance HD, Kingdom Hearts Key back cover, which is basically a story talking about the foretellers within Kingdom Hearts Key to add to your knowledge about what happened in Kingdom Hearts Key. And last but not least, definitely Kingdom Hearts 0.2, A Fragmentary Passage, which is basically Aqua's story about what happened to her while she was in the realm of darkness. There's a lot of crazy stuff that we saw in that final trailer, and I cannot wait to play this game. Next of all, Tales of Berseria, a game that a lot of people have been looking at for a while, especially since Tales of Vesperia. But from what people are saying and what people are seeing of the game, a lot of them like this new main character. They're liking how the game looks because, well, the games look the same all the fucking time, and they're loving what they're showing of the gameplay. So with that being said, all I can hope for is that I want this game to do well. I am a fan of the Tales series, but I was not a big fan of Tales of Vesperia. I didn't even play through the full game. It wasn't for me. So hopefully this game does a better job of keeping you entertained. Next, Nioh, basically a Japanese Dark Souls. Let's not really dig too much more into this. If you play the demo, you know what it's about. You know it's a pretty good game. I just hope people buy it so we can keep getting sequels, because I'm really liking what they got here. And hopefully they can build a series and build a universe around this interesting game. Next, Ni no Kuni 2 also will be coming out sometime in 2017. We don't have a set release date, but we can say that it is coming out in 2017. Ni no Kuni 1 was praised for its gameplay and all of that. The story did drag on a little bit towards the end, so that's the only real gripe that I had with the first game, is honestly the story near the end of it. But for the most part, Ni no Kuni 1 was a good game, so all I can hope for is that Ni no Kuni 2 maybe add some more gameplay elements to make the combat more interesting, and hopefully the story is even better than the first game, which is looking like it is shaping up to be. Next, even though this game has already released over in Japan, we will finally get this game in April after being delayed and delayed and delayed over again, which is Persona 5, a game that a lot of people have recently been looking at with the explosion of Persona. Like I've talked about many times before on my channel, this game is sure to sell very well in America, and I'm thinking by the end of it, this will be the best-selling Persona game of all time, seeing it is the fastest selling over in Japan. I'm pretty sure once they get into the American sales and the European sales, that this game will sell very well at the end of the day. So hopefully there'll be more Personas to come. Last but not least of the confirmed games that I'm talking about is Nier Automata. This is a game that was a sequel to Nier, which was back on the PS3, which is a spin-off of the Dragon Guard series. For those of you who know about what that is, it's a very interesting way of storytelling. It's very subjective. I know a lot of people are not going to honestly like the story of this game, but for me personally, I love the Dragon Guard series and the Nioh series as well because it's made by the same dude. So with that being said, all I can hope for is that the gameplay just draws enough people in so we can keep on getting Dragon Guard games and Nioh games, because it's not honestly a big fan base of us out there, but the games are definitely something else and different from anything else you see in gaming, in my opinion. So with all of that finally out of the way, let's go ahead and get on into the stuff that you all want to talk about, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake. This year in 2017, there are 3 big anniversaries all dealing with JRPGs, and they all deal with Square Enix. Number 1, the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. Obviously, we all know that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a thing and that it's coming any year now, so it would not surprise me if they released the first episode this year, somewhere in the later half. I don't see them doing it in the beginning half, mainly because if they were going to do that, they probably would have showed us something at PlayStation Experience and then announced that date. But I think more in the later half of the year, they reveal something around E3 time and then say, okay, it's coming out holiday 2017. Kingdom Hearts 15th anniversary. Obviously, we're all waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts is personally my favorite gaming series, and Kingdom Hearts 2 is personally my favorite game of all time. So hopefully Kingdom Hearts 3 can blow Kingdom Hearts 2 out of the water. A lot of people tend to think that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out in 2017. Me personally, I don't see it happening. I just don't. As a person who wants this game to be perfect, I've been saying since 2013, since they announced that Kingdom Hearts 3 is in development, I've stuck by this date and I'm not going to budge from it. I think that Kingdom Hearts 3 will come out in March of 2018. I've said this many times before. I know a lot of people want this to come out in 2017, but it just won't. You have to think about it. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 comes out in January, and then the Kingdom Hearts PS4 remaster of 1.5 and 2.5 come out in March or April, I believe. So that's already technically the whole Kingdom Hearts series up until Kingdom Hearts 3 really being released within 1 year. And knowing my mindset, if I was working at Square Enix, I would like to give people time to play all of those games, which a good time would be about a year, and then release Kingdom Hearts 3 a year later, which would be in March of 2018. So with that being said, that's what I see Square maybe doing, releasing all of these games this year, and then early next year in March 2018 we get Kingdom Hearts 3, but we'll probably get a whole bunch of Kingdom Hearts 3 news, a lot of merchandise and giveaways and all of this other stuff, because they want this game to sell just like fucking Final Fantasy 15 did this year. And last but not least, the granddaddy of all JRPGs, basically the Final Fantasy series, is getting its 30th anniversary, which is crazy to think about. The Final Fantasy series is literally 30 years old. It's 11 years older than me. That is crazy to think about. But there are some crazy rumors going down with the Final Fantasy series, which I've always contemplated, and with it being the 30th anniversary, I would love for this to happen. When I remembered that it was the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy coming out in 2017, I always thought, I said, why don't they just remaster the original 9 games of Final Fantasy and put those onto one disc, and then for a collector's edition, obviously give us like Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy 12, since those are already on PS4 and Final Fantasy 12 is coming to PS4. But from what rumors are saying, apparently Square Enix is thinking about doing that for Final Fantasy 1 through 9, okay? And then for a collector's edition of this Final Fantasy collection, I guess they're going to call it the 30th anniversary collection, the limited edition will include Final Fantasy X, X-2, a free pass to maybe the mobile version of Final Fantasy 11, the new PS4 remake Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. It would include the HD or remastered collection for PS4 of the 13 trilogy, which will also be sold separately on PS4. Final Fantasy 14 plus a 3-month pass or online pass for the game, plus Final Fantasy 15 as well, which would be crazy, basically to get all the daggone games for probably something around $250, I would imagine, for all of those games coming together. I would imagine the base game, basically calling it the Final Fantasy Collector's Edition. Basically what I imagine is that the Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary Collector's Edition will probably be around $40 to $60 by itself, I probably see it being more around 60 just because it's 9 freaking games. Even though they're really old games, it's still 9 games. So I see it being $60. With the addition of it being in a bundle, like in the collector's edition, I see 12 being stacked on top of that. I think that will raise the price automatically to $100. Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy, at that point we're already at $110. Let's add on another 50, so what's sitting at a cool $150. And then with the addition of Final Fantasy 14 and 15, I could honestly, actually maybe I could see this collection even being under $200. Maybe, just maybe, but it's highly unlikely. But there's a lot of stuff going on for JRPGs within 2017. So with all the things I've told you about the games confirmed and rumored to come out in 2017, and with the anniversary of Final Fantasy VII, the anniversary of Kingdom Hearts 3, and the anniversary of the Final Fantasy series itself, what do you think could possibly happen in 2017 for RPGs? There's a lot of crazy things that could go on. There are a lot of things that still could be announced. There are some delays that could happen that could take away from this. But what do you think as of right now of seeing this video? I would love to hear your opinions. That's why I make these videos. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, thumbs it up or upvote it, and I will see you in the next one. It has been your boy Skipx, and I am out.